This book is a little older than my usual choices, but I wanted something different to read while I was traveling. Yeah, this was different. A heady concoction of lust, murder, and courtroom drama, writes Publishers Weekly. This is American Appetites by Joyce Carol Oates. It's mostly about relationships, the weird ways in which we are drawn to people, and how we sometimes push them away without meaning to. It's set in a New York suburb, near a prestigious institute, so this middle-aged academic and his wife often entertain. Maybe also because she's a cookbook writer. On the surface, it appears that there's order here. These are people who have succeeded in life, who have attained a certain level of status, which means they have proof of their intelligence and their ability to jump through various bureaucratic hoops in order to be who they are now and have what they have now. But what do they really have? Ian works in demographics, but despite his time spent compiling, charting, graphing, and predicting, Ian had always thought it rather terrifying that unrelated individuals, wholly unaware of one another, nonetheless cooperated in a collective destiny. Was there any other human phenomena more mysterious, in fact, and terrifying, he thinks? Worse, he often jokes with his friends that, my success is my problem. And his friends laughed with him, and agreed, for many of them were burdened with the same problem. They were, like Ian McCullough, successes in their fields, well into middle age, yet still youthful, comfortably well off beyond all dreams and expectations of graduate student days, yet still ambitious. Though ambitious for what, none could have said. So what does success mean? One of the things success seems to mean here is that you have nowhere left to go. Oates spends a lot of time cultivating this particular context in detail. These people should be pretty much boring, but Oates turns this milieu into a kind of crazy ongoing feast. It's like being at court in the Middle Ages, all gossip and fancy cheese. Her writing style also contributes significantly to this idea of excess. She often writes in long sentences with lots of commas and semicolons. This lets thoughts spiral onwards and outwards as if they were growing and building on each other, like the spread of a rumor. Or the spread of a disease. But the thing about a feast, as Ian McCullough's wife Glynis demonstrates so beautifully, is that the mess is actually a very calculated mess. When a feast is successful, it appears disorderly, but really, it isn't. Really, it takes planning and focus. It takes a particular kind of control to execute something like that. So what about the bigger feast here? The feast of their lives? Does it have some kind of order beyond the disorder that we just can't see? This is not really a religious book, but it does point towards metaphysical questions. In the face of death, I won't say who dies or how they die, but in the face of death, isn't religion where we turn? When these people get pushed to the edge, instead of a kind of epiphany, Oates leaves them in a state of bafflement. Are we alone down here, just running around and causing each other pain willy-nilly? Are any of us really successful human beings? What does that even mean? Is it possible to be an unsuccessful human being? All of that's on the table in American Appetites. No pun intended. This is Joyce Carol Oates' American Appetites, and you're watching Brave Little Books.